Walking into a dealership feels like you're in control. You've researched, you know the car, you're ready to bargain. But here's the truth. The second you step onto that lot, you've entered a battlefield. These salespeople are trained in psychological warfare, and every move they make is designed to drain thousands from your wallet. Today, I'm exposing 10 dealership scams that trap buyers every single day. And if you stick around until the end, I've got a bonus tactic that dealers never want you to know. All right, let's dive in. Scam number 10, the 4-square mind trap. This one's a classic, and it's tricked more buyers than almost any other. It's called the 4-square method. At first glance, it looks harmless. The salesperson grabs a sheet of paper, draws 4 little boxes, and starts writing numbers. But don't be fooled. This is psychological warfare disguised as math. One box shows your trade-in, another the purchase price, the third your down payment, and the last your monthly payment. Seems simple until they start scribbling, crossing out numbers, and shifting figures between boxes faster than your brain can follow. It feels like a magic trick, but it's actually a con. While you're fixated on lowering your monthly payment to $400, they've quietly jacked up the car price by $3,000. Push for a better trade-in value? They'll stretch your loan from 5 years to 7. Every win they hand you is secretly a loss, and by the time you sign, you're stuck paying $2,000 to $5,000 more than you should. The only way to beat this trick is simple. Break their system. Nail down the purchase price first, then the trade-in, then financing. And if they ever slide that 4-square sheet across the table, that's your cue to stand up and walk out. Scam number 9, blank contract signing. Picture this. You're in the finance office, excited to finally drive home in your new car. The finance manager slides a thick stack of papers across the desk and says, "Just sign here, here, and here. Don't worry, I'll fill in the details later." Would you hand a stranger a blank check? Of course not. But every single day, thousands of buyers do the equivalent, signing contracts with empty fields. And it ends up costing them thousands. Dealers pull this move when you're tired, rushed, or overwhelmed. They'll claim the system is down, or that a manager needs to approve the numbers later. By the time you realize those blanks have been filled in, it's too late. One buyer thought he was signing a simple credit application. Later, he found out the dealer had slipped in a purchase agreement for a car $8,000 more expensive, with a 22% interest rate instead of the 12% he was promised. And here's the harsh truth. Courts often uphold these contracts. Once your signature is there, it doesn't matter what was blank when you signed. You've basically handed the dealer permission to write their own deal. The only way to protect yourself is brutally simple. Never sign a document with blank spaces. If they can't give you the complete paperwork up front, get up, walk out, and don't look back. Scam number 8, trade-in lowballing. Your 2019 Honda Accord should be worth $18,000 according to Kelley Blue Book, but the dealer's about to make $5,000 of that value disappear. The dealer looks you in the eye and offers $13,000. When you push back, suddenly your car has high mileage, minor wear, or low demand. Sound familiar? This isn't just bad luck, it's strategy. Dealers make billions by systematically undervaluing trade-ins because they know most buyers haven't done their homework. And if they've already got you hooked, they'll even weave it into the 4-square game. Look, we'll give you a great trade-in price, while secretly inflating the cost of the new car. Here's the kicker. Insiders admit dealers routinely shave $3,000 to $5,000 off your car's true value, then flip it for full retail. Sometimes they'll even offer above market value just to make you feel like you're winning, but the bonus comes straight out of your pocket when they quietly overcharge you on the car you're buying. The only way to win this game? Know your numbers before you walk in, Get quotes from CarMax, Carvana, or even other local dealers, and never talk about your trade-in until after you've locked down the final purchase price of your new car. Scam number 7. Phantom inventory. You're scrolling online and spot an insane deal, a 2023 Toyota Camry for $22,000. That's $3,000 below anything else you've seen. You call the dealership and they say, "Better hurry, we've got several people interested." So you rush over, heart pounding, ready to snag the bargain of the year. That's when they hit you with the classic line, "Sorry, that one just sold an hour ago, but let us show you some other options." Here's the truth. That car never existed. Dealers use fake online listings with too good to be true prices to lure you into the showroom. Sometimes the car was never for sale at all. Other times, the price magically balloons with dealer fees that push it back above market value. And the psychology is brutal. Once you've invested the time, driven across town, and built up the excitement of buying a car today, you're far more likely to settle for an overpriced alternative. That fake listing wasn't a mistake. It was bait. Consumer agencies estimate nearly 1 in 3 online car listings contain misleading info about price, availability, or condition. That's millions of phantom cars designed to waste your time and drain your wallet. The only way to beat this scam is simple. Demand a VIN number before you leave your house. If they can't provide one, or keep dodging questions about availability, that dream deal doesn't exist. Scam number 6, monthly payment hypnosis. With one simple question, what monthly payment works for you? The dealer takes control of the entire deal. It feels like they're helping you budget, but in reality, you've just stepped into one of their most profitable traps. Here's how it works. The moment you answer, say, $400 a month, you've given them the keys to manipulate everything else. Loan length, interest rate, even sneaking in add-ons, just to hit that number. Take a $30,000 car at 6% interest. On a 5-year loan, that's about $580 per month, and you'll pay roughly $34,800 total. Stretch it to 7 years, and your payment drops to $440 a month. Sounds like a win, right? Wrong, because now you'll pay about $37,000 total. That lower payment just cost you over $2,000 extra and keeps you in debt 2 years longer. But that's not even the nastiest part. Dealers use this focus on monthly payments to pack the loan with junk products. $2,000 worth of overpriced warranties, gap insurance, and protection plans. Rolled into your loan, it only bumps your payment by $30 a month. You barely notice it, but now you've bought products worth half that at best. Make sure you never reveal your target monthly payment. Always lock in the total price of the car first, then negotiate your financing separately. That way, you stay in control, not hypnotized by a comfortable number that bleeds your wallet dry. Scam number 5, credit score misrepresentation. You're sitting in the finance office, papers on the desk, when the dealer looks up and says, "I ran your credit, and you only qualify for 12% interest." Your stomach drops. 12%? That sounds brutal, but what can you do? They've got your report. They must be telling the truth, except they're not. Later, when you check your credit, it turns out you've got a 720 score. Prime territory. The dealer flat out lied. Here's how the game really works. The bank might approve you at 6%, but the dealer is allowed to tack on an extra 2 to 3% as markup. They tell you it's 9%. You think you're stuck with it. And that 3% difference? Pure profit straight into their pocket. Do the math. On a $25,000 loan over 7 years, that markup alone adds over $3,100 extra. On an 8-year loan, it's $3,600 extra. Multiply that by hundreds of customers walking in every month, and you see why this scam is one of the industry's favorite cash cows. And it hits hardest on people who don't know their score. First-time buyers, young drivers, or anyone who hasn't checked their credit recently. They trust the expert, and that trust gets weaponized against them. The fix is simple. Check your score before you ever step on a lot. Use your bank, Credit Karma, or annualcreditreport.com. Better yet, get pre-approved by your bank or credit union so the dealer can't play games. The moment you know your real number, their scam collapses. Scam number 4, unnecessary fees. You shake hands on a $25,000 car. The deal feels fair. Then you sit down to sign, and suddenly the total is $28,500. Where did the extra $3,500 come from? It's the fee avalanche, documentation fees, dealer prep charges, market adjustments, nitrogen-filled tires, VIN etching, paint protection, extended warranties. None of it was part of your negotiation, but all of it shows up as if it's standard or even required. Here's the ugly truth. Those so-called fees cost the dealer next to nothing, but they're billed to you for hundreds or even thousands. A former finance manager admitted, "We were trained to add fees gradually. $299 here, $399 there." People push back on one big charge, but they'll swallow 6 smaller ones without realizing. And it works. Consumer attorneys estimate the average buyer pays $1,200 to $2,500 in junk fees. Money for absolutely nothing but dealer profit. The defense is simple. Lock in an out-the-door price up front. That's the car, the taxes, and every single fee included. If they try to slip in extras, demand they remove them or walk. Scam number 3, overpriced add-on products. Step into the finance office, and suddenly you're the target of a sales pitch designed to squeeze thousands more out of you in just 20 minutes. Extended warranties, gap insurance, paint protection, interior coatings, tire coverage, theft protection. It's a protection racket that would make the mafia proud. The strategy is fear. What if your transmission fails right after the warranty expires? That's a $6,000 repair. But our coverage practically pays for itself. They stack on scare tactics, time pressure, and emotional manipulation until you feel reckless saying no. Here's the reality. These products cost the dealer next to nothing but are sold to you at eye-watering markups. That extended warranty you're pressured into, often overpriced 3 or 4 times its real cost, and loaded with fine print exclusions. Paint and interior protection, cheap sprays you could buy off the shelf, dressed up as premium safeguards. Gap insurance? You can get it from your own insurer for a fraction of the price, and yet it works. Finance managers successfully upsell add-ons to 7 out of 10 buyers, with profit margins as high as 400%. For many dealerships, the finance office makes more money than the showroom floor. Your best defense is knowledge. Walk in already knowing which products are real and which are pure profit. Most can be bought later, elsewhere, for a fraction of the cost. Never decide under pressure, and never assume anything the finance manager says is required. The only thing you need to protect in that room is your wallet. Scam number 2, product misrepresentation. You walk onto the lot looking for a safe, reliable family car. The salesperson dazzles you with talk of advanced safety technology, premium sound, and all-weather capability. It all sounds impressive, until weeks later you realize half those features don't work as promised, and some don't exist at all. One of the biggest offenders? CVT transmissions. Dealers brag about them as smooth, fuel-efficient, and cutting-edge. What they skip over is the ugly truth. Many CVTs start failing around 70 to 100,000 miles, and replacing one will set you back $4,000 to $6,000. Then there's the so-called lifetime fluids. Transmission, coolant, brake fluid, all advertised as never needing replacement, but no fluid lasts forever. Following that advice often means your first major breakdown happens just outside the warranty window. Or, how about the performance upgrades that are pure theater? Sport trims that add nothing but decals, hood scoops that connect to nothing, and dual exhaust tips where only one actually works. You pay thousands extra for features that don't improve performance one bit. Even safety gets oversold. Standard airbags suddenly become advanced safety systems. Basic stability control is rebranded as intelligent all-weather management. It's smoke and mirrors designed to justify a higher sticker price. Don't buy promises, buy proof. Check the manual, read genuine reviews, and test everything yourself before signing. Scam number 1, leasing deception. And here it is. The number 1 scam costing drivers the most money, leasing. The pitch sounds smart. Why tie up all that money when you can lease for half the payment? But that's an illusion. A $300 lease looks cheaper than a $600 loan, but the difference is simple. With a lease, you're renting. With a loan, you're building ownership, and the fine print is brutal. Leases come loaded with mileage caps, wear and tear fees, early termination penalties, and disposition charges just for giving the car back. Go 5,000 miles over your limit, that's another $1,000. A small bumper scratch? Hundreds more. But the real trap isn't the fees, it's the psychology. After 3 years, you have no car and no equity. So what do? You lease again and again. Congratulations, you now have a permanent car payment for life. Over 15 years, you'll spend the cost of 3 or 4 cars and own exactly 0. If you had financed the same car, by year 3, you'd have thousands in equity. By year 6, you'd own it outright and still have a car worth $12,000 to $15,000 instead of another contract to sign. Bottom line, leasing only makes sense if you absolutely need a new car every 3 years. Stay well within mileage limits, and don't mind being tied to a payment for the duration. For everyone else, it's a financial sinkhole. Here is the bonus tactic that dealerships don't want you to know: emotional manipulation tactics. And finally, the glue that holds every scam together: psychology. Dealers don't just sell cars, they sell emotions. First, they use time and say, "This deal ends now," or "Someone else is coming to see this car." It's all about rushing you before you have time to think. Then comes the sunk cost trap. You've already been there for hours. You've test-driven the car, maybe even pictured yourself driving it home. At that point, walking away feels like throwing all that time away, and that's exactly what they want. Now they add social pressure too. Everyone takes the warranty. Most of our customers finance here. Suddenly, you feel like the odd one out just for asking questions. And finally, the authority play. The salesperson disappears and comes back with the manager, who acts like they're doing you a huge favor by approving something that still makes them plenty of profit. The defense is simple: set your limits before you go in. Your budget, your financing, your walkaway point, and at the end of the day, there will always be another car, another deal, another day. Pressure only works if you let it. Here's the truth: the average car buyer loses $3,000 to $8,000 on every deal. Add that up across 17 million new cars sold each year in the US, and you're looking at billions of dollars that should have stayed in people's pockets. The good news? Now you know how to stop it. Get pre-approved before you shop. Do your own research on pricing and features. Negotiate each part of the deal separately. Never sign paperwork with blanks. And most importantly, don't be afraid to walk away. Knowledge isn't just power here, it's money you keep in your own pocket.